The devil has many ways in this generation and time which he uses to lead many into several lusts, to make many leave God's proposed relationship and reject their God-given spouse. You know, there is a part that only God can do, and there is a part where it is only what you can do, and God will not force you because you're not a robot. It is God that orders our steps to his appointed relationship and spouse. Abraham's servant prayed to God to give God's speed, right place, right time. But there is a big part that has to do with your response to what God has done. You must be able to seize God-given opportunity because it comes only once in a while. There are kairos moments when the devil seeks to destroy and make many walk out of the will of God. The enemy wants death in your relationship and marriage. You must fight for your future. These ways are: number 1, the internet or social media. The internet or social media is one of the most prominent channels of the devil to trick people into leaving God's proposed relationship for them. The internet is a different web of communication where 70% of people show their fake lives. Many lift up their expectations of both sides based on those fake lives they see and watch, which has led to many frustration and disappointments and dilemma in relationships. Many relationships have been destroyed by social media and sites on the net, some through pornographic sites. It was said last 2 years that the pornographic industry was sponsored with about billions of dollars to be uploaded as ads on many sites. These nude images and pictures that have caused many to be addicted to all sorts of negative pictures that has destroyed relationships. No one trusts each other today because of the eruption of the media in the eyes of many. It seems to be selling more than ever in this generation. No wonder most worldly celebrities never survive a long-lasting relationship because they are living their lives cultured by fake comments of people that they've never seen. A vital factor for a successful relationship is trust. You must thrive to have the very qualities you want to see in your spouse. We always say, but the internet has others. This is so hard to achieve. Many have logged into pornography sites even without knowing, and they have been affected negatively even from a young age, that even now they have begun to produce lust in their minds naturally. This has produced a low rate of trust in many relationships. Addictions are hard to break, especially the danger of it is that it has a repeating effect. It has increased blackmails among spouses and frustration in many relationships. More than that is insecurity in the hearts of many spouses towards each other because of the net. Number 2, anger. Anger is a normal emotion. It stems from feeling hurt, anxious, shame, or powerless. Without control, anger can destroy our God-given relationships. One of the things that God says to put off from your members is anger. Colossians chapter 3 verse 8. But now ye also put off these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Anger has been the major driver of many destroyed God-given relationships. Many have met the person that God has appointed for them in marriage, but because of quick lashing out of their anger and giving people the peace of their mind, they destroy everything. It's a trick of the enemy. It can be the source of a lot of pain and anguish in relationships. All too often, anger when left unchecked leads to hurt feelings, lack of understanding, and in worst cases, physical and emotional harm. From now, you should begin to train yourself to walk in forgiveness and forget the past. Let the love of God flow through you. Learn to forgive anyone easily without waiting for the person's response to you. That is what shows that you're mature. How many times do we see this again and again, that many relationships are destroyed and fall for the hand of the wicked by excessive and unnecessary anger towards everyone? Ours can be different. Number 3, failed expectations or delays. Delays are setbacks caused by the devil to bring discouragement and depression. Sometimes, when many trust God for a good spouse, they have prayed and sought God's face for this right person, and it seems to delay, or the persons that always met was not according to what they expected. When breakups happen, expectations failed, and many enter into emotional trauma and depression. Many get bitter and angry at God. It's so frustrating that someone had to put his or her trust in someone, and after all found that they are jumping from one chicken to another in disguise of fornication. This has made spouses ashamed, and they begin to blame themselves for making such a mistake. All these cause someone to look for temporal satisfaction, to relieve these depressive thoughts. They go into watching videos, and it leads to a life of addiction, which has left them from a God-proposed relationship for them. The devil will use times of delay to make you question God. Where is my God in the midst of this? Many have gotten offended at God and discard the will of God about relationships and yield to an ungodly spouse who is not born again, and making them compromise against God's will. Some even go all the way to sexual abuse. You must maintain a cheerful and a joyful heart even when it seems to delay. God is working behind the scene for you. Number 4, loneliness. One of the major ways that the devil now tricks many into several lusts, making them leave God's proposed relationship and spouse for them, is loneliness. It has made them leave their path in marriage. It's one of the tricks of the devil. It's made many consumed with negative thoughts and depression. Loneliness is not that people are not around you. People might still be around you, and you can still be lonely. Loneliness is not a function of the presence of people around you or not. It's a state of the heart. Loneliness makes many insecure, and it constrains many to begin to assume evil in their minds. There is a link connection between what attracts to you and your countenance. I'm telling you that you do not have to fall for that trick of the devil. Psalms chapter 3 verse 3. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory and the lifter up of mine head. Even when there is no one to talk to about your challenging situation, there is help in God. You just have to cast your worries before Him because He cares for you. Loneliness is a state of the heart where many feel no one understands what they're going through. They begin to think and compare themselves with their so-called mates in life. There are no mates in destiny. You have your own life to live. There is a carved in destiny for you. The only cure to a lonely heart is not by taking sleeping pills, going to the hospital, or trying to roll away time by taking alcohol. The cure to a lonely heart is to be alone in Jesus. You have to begin to draw nearer and closer to God, because you must understand that the devil has used this to raise persons that are so full of worry and have lost their minds. Now they begin to take drugs until it leads to addiction, to hard drugs that cause havoc to their God-given relationship. The Bible tells us sorrow is a spirit, grief is a spirit. It's not just a mental thing. Some, just because of their way of upbringing, they never see any reason to be happy. That is why it was mentioned earlier on that you must forget your past and forgive yourself. That mistakes should not hold you down. There is a better chance for you in God to correct the mistakes and come with excellence. This is not God doing to be lonely. It's the devil. Shake it off.